I'm often asked, based on my decades inside the Social Security Administration, my opinions on the Social Security Trust Fund and the status of Social Security and the solvency and political motivations and what's going to happen with Social Security in the future. So I'd like to put together a couple of minutes here and talk about that. So Social Security has always been that third rail that people, politicians particularly, avoid talking about. But every now and then you get one side of the political aisle saying that the statement by another politician proves that they want to privatize Social Security and vice versa, and it just goes back and forth and back and forth. There's one political party that has been against Social Security from almost the beginning, since 1935, but they seem to realize that Social Security is, again, that third rail. So they've kind of moderated their discussions of privatization and the dismantling of Social Security. But it's my personal opinion, based on a couple of decades inside the agency and kind of being a historian of Social Security, that it doesn't matter what political party it is. I believe that you have to follow the money. The Social Security Trust Fund is close to $3 trillion right now. So who would like to, a thought experiment here, who would like to get a hold of that money? Wall Street, right? They have been chomping at the bit to get hold of that. Privatize, privatize, privatize. Social Security is terrible. The customer service is terrible. That's one of the reasons I'm doing all the videos, to help customer service, get people information out there. But customer service is terrible. The program is not solvent. It's all doom and gloom. And therefore, what you should do is give it over to Wall Street so they can do their things, take their giant commissions and go to I guess pretty much Las Vegas and bet it all. And if they lose, then we pay for it. If they win, they get the commission. So it's a beautiful thing for them. So that's what I see. My personal opinion. That's the motivations, is the money. So the rich Wall Street financial guys, they want that money more than anything, and they support politicians, funding their travel, funding their campaigns. So you have to look at it from a politician's standpoint. Even if a politician believes in saving Social Security, believes in the future of Social Security and having it here for generations to come, they're also, kind of political beings. And, the House of Representatives, they have to, run for reelection every 2 years, and the Senate every 6 years. And it just takes an enormous amount of cash to keep them in office, because their number one job as politicians is to stay politicians, is to stay in office. And I guess secondarily is, to kind of make as much money as possible, it seems like, in a lot of situations. So you've got these politicians that, want to stay in office. Sure, they may support or they don't support privatization. Let's put that to the side. When it comes down to some midnight meeting on Saturday night, some bill that has to pass in order to fund the government, the politicians usually don't read that, and there might be a little, increase of the retirement age, 67 to 68, 68 to 69, or cuts in Social Security. So that's one thing we have to be vigilant with, is us as the public, is to make sure that doesn't happen. And I think there's also kind of a brinksmanship going on here. And there's a famous saying that there's two best times to plant a tree: 10 years ago and today, right? So Social Security, they should have, the politicians should have, should have demanded that they do something, 5, 10, 20, 30 years ago. But it's coming up, the bill is coming due. We need to do something before the estimates anywhere from, a 20 to 30% cut in future benefits because of the shortfall of future projections. So we're coming up to that line where slowly, every single day, we have to make harder and harder decisions. And I hate to be cynical and negative, but is this, was this planned? Is this one of the things that, the politicians say, yeah, I really don't want to privatize Social Security, but I'd really like to give it to my buddies on Wall Street so they can, pay me a lot of money. Well, they don't pay it to me; they pay it to my spouse, and that way it doesn't look like it's come to me. They can give her a great job, and my son a great job, and yada yada yada. So, so I need all that money, and I have to somehow justify essentially the road to privatization of Social Security. So I can't do it right now because we're still, 10, 15 years from, the cuts. But every day we get closer, we have to make harder and harder decisions. So the cynical part of me is saying, is that kind of their game plan? Is to bring us up to the brink, and then all bets are off. And then it's like, well, I really hate to cut Social Security. I'd really hate to, raise the retirement age. I really hate to do this, but we really just don't have any choice right now because I didn't do my job, 5, 10, 20 years ago. And because we didn't do our job and you didn't demand us to do our jobs, then we're just going to have to bite the bullet, and everybody has to suffer from here. Obviously, the rich, the billionaires on Wall Street won't suffer, but everybody else, good luck. So that's my 2 cents on all of that. Take it as you like. If you want politicians to do what you want them to do, then definitely reach out and get active and demand that they do something with Social Security. I want to take a second here to introduce you to my channel. If this is your first time, I do a live question and answer at least once a week on Thursdays, 4 o'clock West Coast time. So if you have any questions about all things retirement, disability, survivor benefits, Medicare, make sure you join me, subscribe, and we'll see you there. As for customer service, I ran the third busiest Social Security office in the country, and customer service was always challenging. And I think, again, not to be cynical, but maybe that is, one of the reasons is that if the customer service gets so bad, then people will demand another option. And again, giving it up to Wall Street. In my particular office, it was, a customer service. If we probably had 10% more employees, we had about close to 80 to 90 employees, probably about 10% we could have improved our customer service phenomenally. In terms of the policy of Social Security, that's one of the problems of the policy. If you watch my videos, there's exceptions, the exceptions, the exceptions. So I put together hundreds of videos to help people navigate the bureaucracy, and that's another reason that I do a live Q&A. We could very well, if we wanted to, if we demanded of our politicians to improve the customer service, the phone answer rate, the wait times in the office, the wait times for getting your disability approved, we could very well get that done without any problem if we had the political will to do so.